When the doors of Westbrook High slammed open that Monday morning, no one could have guessed that the quiet girl stepping through them would change everything. Her name was Amira. She walked with the kind of calm confidence that made people pause, not cocky, controlled. Her deep brown eyes scanned the crowded hallway, taking in every detail like a detective entering a crime scene. She wore plain black jeans, a dark green hoodie, and an old leather backpack that looked like it had stories of its own. But what really caught people off guard wasn't her silence. It was who she bumped into. "Watch where you're going, new girl," snapped a voice behind her. Derek, 6 feet of swagger, a constant smirk, and a temper shorter than his buzz cut. He ruled the hallways with cheap insults and louder laughter. His crew, Zach and Leo, were never far behind. They didn't talk unless Derek gave the green light. Amira looked over her shoulder, eyes calm. "You are the one walking backward," she said, voice steady, even bored. The hallway gasped. No one talked to Derek like that, especially not someone whose locker hadn't even been assigned yet. Derek stepped forward, smirking wider. "Oh, we got a smart mouth on day one. Gonna be a long year for you, hoodie." Amira didn't flinch. "Only if I waste time on clowns." Zach chuckled. Leo didn't know if he should laugh or look away. Derek's face darkened. "Say that again." "I don't repeat myself," Amira said. She turned, walking away. For Derek, that wasn't just a brush-off. It was a challenge, and he never turned down a challenge. That afternoon in the gym during free period had started. Amira had asked the coach if she could shadow the martial arts class. The coach, surprised but intrigued, agreed. She stepped onto the mat in her jeans and hoodie while the other students changed into uniforms. A few laughed. Derek, standing nearby with a basketball in one hand, just stared. He leaned over to Zach. "This is going to be good." Coach Miller noticed the tension. "Amira, would you be okay sparring with one of the class members? Light contact only." She nodded once. "Derek, you're up." The gym held its breath. Derek sauntered over, cracking his knuckles like he was walking into a boxing match, not a demonstration. "Ready to tap out, hoodie?" he whispered. Amira didn't answer. She just shifted her stance. Coach gave the signal. What happened next was so fast it barely made sense. Derek lunged. Amira stepped aside, pivoted, and swept his leg out from under him. He hit the mat with a thud that echoed like a dropped microphone. The gym gasped. Derek rolled over, embarrassed. Lucky shot. He charged again, this time angrier, sloppier. Amira ducked, grabbed his wrist, twisted, and had him on his knees in less than 3 seconds. His arm was locked in a hold so clean, even Coach Miller raised an eyebrow. "Say stop, Derek," she said calmly. Derek's teeth clenched. "You're bluffing." Amira gently increased the pressure. Derek's eyes went wide. Okay, stop." She released him. He scrambled up, red-faced, holding his arm. His crew didn't laugh. They didn't speak. Coach Miller blinked. "Where did you learn that?" Amira shrugged. "My uncle taught me. Military guy." The whispers didn't stop for the rest of the day. But the real storm hit the next morning. The next morning, Derek wasn't at school. Neither was his pride. But what truly unsettled people wasn't Derek's absence. It was Amira's presence. She moved through the hallways like nothing happened. Calm, unreadable, not smug, not gloating. That made it worse. If she'd gloated, Derek could have fired back. But her silence was a mirror, forcing everyone to reflect on just how easily she'd taken down the so-called king of Westbrook High. In Mr. Langston's history class, Amira took a seat near the window. She didn't look around. She didn't need to. The room was full of glances. Zach sat 2 rows behind her. He kept fidgeting. Leo wouldn't make eye contact. Something about the quiet tension made the clock tick louder. At lunch, something stranger happened. Amira took her tray, basic sandwich and apple, and walked straight to the table in the corner. Alone. She didn't scan for friends, didn't try to join a group. She didn't seem to care if anyone joined her or not. That's when Cassie noticed. Cassie was no pushover. She'd been the editor of the school paper since sophomore year, and she had a radar for interesting people. Amira? Off the charts. Cassie slid into the seat across from her. So, what's your deal? Amira glanced up, took a bite of her apple. No deal. You tossed Derek like a rag doll and then acted like it was Tuesday. People are talking. People always talk. Doesn't mean I have to listen. Cassie tilted her head. You're not what I expected. Neither was Derek, Amira replied flatly. That was when something unexpected happened. Zach approached. He looked unsure, something completely foreign to him. Hey, Amira, right? She looked up again. Yes. Zach scratched the back of his neck. Derek wanted me to, say sorry. You know, for what happened. Cassie blinked. You're his messenger now. Zach looked genuinely uncomfortable. He's not coming back until next week. Said he needed time to recalibrate, whatever that means. Amira nodded once, no expression. Message received. Zach lingered for a second, then walked off, like a kicked dog, unsure if he was dismissed or forgiven. Cassie leaned in. Okay, now I really want to know your story. Amira took another bite, chewed slowly. It's long. We got time. Amira leaned back slightly, her gaze distant. Let's just say I've been in places where weakness isn't an option. And Derek? He thinks being loud is the same as being strong. Cassie smiled. You're gonna break this school. Amira raised an eyebrow. Number I just don't let anyone break me. The next few days were quiet, on the surface, but underneath, the entire hierarchy of Westbrook High was shifting. Jocks stopped strutting. The loudmouths toned it down. Even the teachers took notice, especially Coach Miller. He pulled Amira aside after gym on Thursday. I looked into some of the moves you used. That wasn't beginner stuff. Amira nodded. It's not. He studied her. Ever thought about competing? She hesitated. I don't fight for trophies. Coach raised his hands. Fair enough. But if you ever change your mind, I'll make space for you. That evening, something strange happened in the parking lot. As Amira walked toward the gates, a car screeched to a halt in front of her. The window rolled down. Derek. His eyes were bloodshot, not from tears. Probably from anger, humiliation, and whatever conversations he'd had with his father about losing to a girl in front of the entire school. He stared at her. I'm not scared of you, he said. She didn't break stride. Good. Because fear clouds judgment. He opened his mouth to fire something back, but couldn't find words fast enough. You know what the real problem is? Amira asked, stopping beside the car. You think pain is power, but you don't know what real power looks like. Derek frowned. And you do? She gave a small smile. I've seen people do unspeakable things without raising their voice. Real power doesn't need to prove itself. And with that, she walked away. Derek stared after her, gripping the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. The next week, the announcements came over the PA. New nominations for student council. Unexpectedly, Amira's name was on the list. She hadn't applied. Cassie had written her in. I didn't ask for this, Amira told her later. I know, Cassie said, but people need to see what real strength looks like. As the weeks passed, Amira's presence continued to ripple through Westbrook High like a quiet storm. She didn't chase popularity, but respect followed her like a shadow. Even Derek kept his distance, no longer the lion of the hallways, but a humbled lesson walking. The day of the student council speeches arrived. Amira stood on stage, calm as ever. No flashy promises, no practiced smile, just one sentence. Sometimes, the strongest voice is the one that doesn't need to shout. The auditorium went silent and then erupted into applause. Power had changed hands at Westbrook, and it wasn't taken by force. It was earned. If you enjoyed this story and want more dramatic, intense, and unexpected tales like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. New stories are coming, and trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next.